How's it going, everybody? Brant coming back at you for parts 3 and 4 of our series of fully flocking Brants. I tried to do a part 3 video, but for some reason YouTube isn't letting it load. I don't know what the difficulty is, but I'll briefly go back over what I was explaining in part 3 on how to do part 3. So for part 3, basically what we did was I shaded the back of the decoy in between the two solid black pieces. And what I used was just regular Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. And so to do this, what you do is you'll hold the decoy basically completely vertical and then run the paint straight down and leave 18 inches off the decoy. Basically you're just trying to shade it with just a little bit of black. So, and the reason you do that, this decoy can't really tell very well, but with this one you can kind of see the two tones in the decoy itself. So from the back, see if I can get that look, see that right there, it gives it that layered feather look. And that was one of the things that you can also do if you're doing your Canada geese. It's the same basic principle. You'd flock the whole backside of the goose in one color. I believe for the goose I usually use like a cream color, and then come over the top of it with a dark brown or black, just depending on how you want your geese to look. But yeah, just to reiterate, it was straight up like this, about 18 inches out, and then just go straight down. Don't go back up the other way, because that'll hide, or make it so that what you're trying to do goes away. That feather look will go away because you're changing the angle where the paint's laying. So, but yeah, that's basically your part 3 will come out looking just like this. Now, for part 4, you will need white Rust-Oleum oil-based paint. I'm using flat white. And then you can do this part in two ways. You can either use cream colored flocking or white flocking. I prefer cream colored flocking because the white flocking has a tendency to stain. So if you're in dirty water or mud or whatever, it tends to, the white flocking tends to stain a little bit. The cream color is a little more resistant to staining. Off-white also works, but for these I've used cream colored. You really can't tell with the white paint. When you put white paint as your base, you can't really tell the color difference between the cream and the white. I just have noticed that the cream doesn't stain as much. So anyway, I'll get right to it. So you're gonna need to take your 1-inch brush like we've been doing, and then just apply it to the sides. So with Brant, you're gonna leave a little bit of a patch between the white, the gray, or the white, the black, and the gray. So you just leave about a little space just like that, and you can kind of round it off. You don't need a straight line. But I just paint it all the way back. And the decoy is going to kind of dictate how far you run the white up the side of the decoy. Some of the decoys have a smaller side patch, so I usually just run it to where it meets the wing pocket and all the way down. Sure you can see this. Yeah, you just go all the way around it. And if you kind of leave some white lines like that, just from the brush running long, don't really worry about it, because in the next section when we airbrush, we'll clean all that up. Just go all the way around the back side underneath the tail. Kind of takes a little bit of time because you're running two colors into each other, so kind of want to keep it as neat as possible. The straighter your lines look here, the easier it's going to be on you for airbrushing. Save you a little bit of time there. But all the way around the back side. Good. Yeah, some decoys are much better for this than others. This one's just kind of a plain one. It's got kind of a rubber shell on it, real soft plastic. I don't know what exactly it's made of, but it's got a little bit of flex to it. That's foam filled, so it's an much older decoy, way before I was hunting. Not sure what brand it is. Doesn't even say. But the other ones in the pile are all G&H and Flambeau. The G&H ones are actually kind of nice floaters. Coming around the other side. Yeah, when it comes time to airbrushing, we'll have to get a little creative with this decoy. It doesn't have a lot of details, so gotta kind of, when I have a decoy like that where I gotta kind of add my own details to it and not just accent off of the existing details it has on the shell itself, I'll just pull up a actual picture of a Brant or whatever species I'm flocking, and go off of that and try and add features to it. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer, just trying to, take a step back and make it look real. But all right, so once you get it flocked, just kind of go back, touch your lines up a little bit, make sure they're all straight. And all right, and then you take your flocking applicator filled with that cream colored flocking, turn your goose head down, and then just sprinkle it on. Just put as much on there as you can. Make sure you get all open pieces of paint. And usually I don't do this with duck decoys, but with goose decoys, since they're so big, before I turn over to the other side, I'm going to knock off all that extra flocking so it doesn't end up on the floor. Yeah, you guys can see that. Just keep spinning it. Make sure you get all the paint. Kind of roll your decoy as you need to. As you can. Turn the tail down. Knock all that extra flocking off. there you have it. Starting to look like Brant now. We'll add some details and stuff in the next one. So for now, I'll see you tomorrow when these things are dry, and we'll airbrush. Have a good one.